what's up everybody? Viking here today, and this is going to be kind of a special video for you guys, and it's going to be my reasons for why I feel like Force of Will is a better game and a better company as a whole versus Konami with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Wizards of the Coast with Magic the Gathering. So my first point I'm going to give you guys is price. Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! Are both relatively expensive games. The top decks are very expensive, certain cards are very expensive, and it's just a really big money sink as far as both games go. Force of Will, however, isn't that expensive. Each card has multiple prints, whether they're uncommon, rare, super rare, promos, rulers, commons even. I don't have any commons to show you guys, or else I would. But each card has multiple prints. There's a non-foil, a foil, and a full art. And as far as rulers go, there's foil, full art, and uber rares, which are like a monochrome black and white thing. They're really hard to get, but that's just kind of if you want to get that card. So, showing you guys here, you can already see the differences. So this is a non-foil, a foil, and a full art. Here's a non-foil and a full art, non-foil and a foil. There's multiple different prints, and that's something that makes the game a lot cheaper. Your third market is cheaper. Um, your overall deck building is cheaper, and it's just a lot easier to get your cards. Whereas Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh, most of the cards that are hard to get are very expensive because they only make one print of it. Or in Magic's case, they make the non-foil and the foil version, which the foil version is extremely hard to get and gets super expensive anyways. So either way, this game is just a lot cheaper. So I'll tell you a little bit of pricing. So these are the ones that I know the prices of for sure. The non-foil is like about $2. The foil is about $4, and this one's about 8 to 10 depending on where you are and whatever else. So just right off the bat, you can tell the price differences. If you wanted to build super budget, build it with these ones. If you wanted to go a little bit more and just kind of foil your deck out, you can get these. And then if you wanted to go like max, you can go to full arts. So I mean, it doesn't really matter what way you go. Um, just know that there is a cheaper way to play the game. These both are very cheap cards. This one's still relatively cheap, but it is more expensive than the other ones. So I mean, it's just that price point fact is a lot better in my opinion, and makes the game a lot funner to play because you're not sinking all of your money into building this one deck. So there's my first point. My second point is going to be the company as a whole. So Konami is a terrible company. We all know this. Anybody that's played Yu-Gi-Oh! Or even plays video games, I mean, look at Metal Gear Solid, and what happened with the creator of that game. Um, Everybody just knows, or should know by now, that Konami is a terrible company. They don't do anything for their players. They don't do anything for the community. They're just in it for money. They put product out and they make money. That's all they're in it for. I mean, that's what a company should do, is make money. But when it's nothing but that and they're just greedy and they don't do anything about it, then that is just a sign of bad company. And that's one of the reasons I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! Is I was just done with Konami. So first off, Yu-Gi-Oh! Terrible company. Everybody should know that by now. Magic the Gathering gets a little bit better. They've done a few small things here and there, but lately I've heard nothing but bad opinions about Wizards of the Coast, because they're getting rid of certain things and they're changing the way that their pro tour or tournaments work, and a lot of the veteran players are quitting because they no longer have a status compared to what they used to. I mean, if I remember right, the pro tour players used to get paid to go play in these pro tours, and now they don't, or they're not going to be. And a lot of them are quitting because they have no reason to play. You know, they're not getting their return as far as playing anymore. So Magic's starting to do a lot of things that is upsetting a lot of people, and I feel like if they don't change that, then they're going to lose a lot of their customers, a lot of their players. So there's Magic. Force of Will, it's still a relatively new company, so we don't have a whole lot of examples. But the biggest example I can tell you, before I get to the third point, because the third point kind of reflects on company as well, but this is just mainly focusing on the company. So with Force of Will, they had a card. I believe it was the second Valentina ruler. So in Force of Will terms, it would be Valentina 2.0. I don't remember the exact name of her though, but her original print was apparently very offensive to some people. Like it showed camel toe or something, and she just had giant breasts, and a lot of people were upset about that. So what did Force of Will do? They reached out to their community. They said, we will print a new version of this card and we will make it more subtle, we'll make it more appropriate, and anybody that has the old print can send that back and we will send them the new print in the same rarity or print that they had. So if they had a full art, we'll send them a full art. If they had just a foil, we'll send them the foil. So they actually reached out and were willing to change something. And that is one big point that I really like about the game. When I heard about that, I was like, wow, I haven't heard of a company doing this in years. So they are still new, so that might be why they did it or whatever. But that's just a really good example that I wanted to put out there, was the fact that they did actually reach out and want to do something about it. So there's that reason. So that's my second reason. My third reason, we're going to get on tournament level and just overall prize support. So what you see here is my Dark Alice mat. This was the second place prize slash first place. Like first place got to choose what prize they got, and second place got whatever was left, essentially. So this is one of the prizes. And my friend chose this one. I ended up getting it from him because I have the deck, so I traded him for it. And this was the one that I particularly chose. Like, we both got first and second. So I got this backpack, and my friend got this mat, which I traded him for the mat because I wanted it. And this is local level tournament prize support that Force of Will sent out for the tournament stores to do. And for those of you that know, these Force Will mats are very unique. They have this cool little border that makes it so they can't fray on the edges. They're a lot denser. They're a lot higher quality than most mats that are, these mouse pad kind of materials. And this backpack is also a very good material. It's made by Ultra Pro, wherever the tag is, if you can see that there. Come on. So it's made by Ultra Pro, which is interesting. It's made out of a really cool, I'd probably say polyester or nylon material, but it's really dense, it's really good quality. And then the ropes, which are actually pretty thick rope that they use, because it is technically a string backpack, but they don't use those little tiny thin string rope things that they used to use for them. They actually use these really good thick nylon rope. So it's a really high quality product that they gave out for a tournament. A local level tournament. Like, I didn't have to go play in a regional and get second place in a regional to get this. It was at my local tournament. So that is kind of my second point. When was the last time playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic at a local event that you won a backpack, that you won a mat? Like, this could also still be something because the company is new and they want to keep getting people to play, but they're doing it, and that's something that I find really cool, is that they're actually making tournaments worth your while to play, because you're getting these really cool product. And then everybody at my tournament, we had like 20 people, all of us got like 8 promos each, no matter what place we got. And we had a ton of promos to choose from, so everybody just kind of took turns taking one promo, the next person would take one. And this is one of the ones I got. It's Recollection of Dystopia. It's for my Dark Alice deck. It's a cosplay of full art promo, which I thought was really cool. So, I mean, everybody got prizes, whether that was a promo or, the backpack and the mat. And I think that that was really cool. They didn't make it normal. They didn't make it simple like most other games. They actually made your playing worth your effort. I mean, if you won, you got something cool. Even if you didn't win, you still got those promo cards. So, I mean, either way, you're getting something cool out of it. And I thought that was really cool. And like I said, reflect on what Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Does. They really don't do a whole lot as far as prizes go, unless you're in a regional or a Pro Tour event. So, there's kind of your first, or my third reason. And probably one of the biggest reasons, honestly, is the fact that the company is willing to do stuff like this. So that's kind of my main three reasons. Other reasons I would say is the game's a lot more fair because any deck that you build and you think about is going to work. As long as you have a solid strategy behind it, it's going to work. It can win. Even structured decks can win a tournament if you play them well enough. So right off the bat, the game is a lot more fair. It's a lot more strategy based. Magic is fairly strategy based, and so is Yu-Gi-Oh. But they also rely on luck, and they rely on whether or not you're say Magic. You have to make sure you draw into your lands. In this game, you don't have to worry about that. Yu-Gi-Oh, you have to make sure you draw into your combo pieces. You don't have to worry about this a whole lot either. The game is a lot more consistent. It's a lot more fair, like I was saying, and it's a lot more strategic. It makes you think a lot more about every little thing you're doing. So there's a couple of my smaller points. Um, Another thing I would say is the fact that it is similar to Magic. Let me find a non-shiny card here to make it easier. So see up here, that's kind of your mana cost. You have to play 2 darkness. My phone's not zooming in properly here. But it's basically saying that you only have to pay 2 darkness to play this card. So in Magic terms, it'd be 2 swamps or whatever. So the costs are similar to Magic. So anybody that's played Magic will find this very familiar. But there's also concepts of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like there's chance standbys, which are spells you can set. Like in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can set your quick plays, you can set your trap cards. It's kind of like that. And this game also has a concept called stealth, where you set resonators down, which resonators are your creatures, and you set them face down, and when they have a condition met, they flip up, and they have an effect when they enter field that way. So they're also kind of like trap cards, but they become monsters once you activate them. So there are concepts of Yu-Gi-Oh that make it familiar for both sides of the games. If you're someone that never really played either game and you're, I don't know, let's say Vanguard, a Vanguard player or like a buddy fight player, the game won't feel as familiar to you, but it won't be hard to pick up. It's not a hard game to learn as long as somebody knows what the rules are and how the mechanics work. It's not that hard to learn. So I mean, it's a very familiar game for those that have played Yu-Gi-Oh, that have played Magic, and it's a very fun, very strategic game that, as a whole, is a lot more fair, is a lot cheaper, and has some of the best prize support I've ever seen. So let me know what you guys think. If you feel like I've missed anything or some of my points might not have been valid enough, put them in the comment box. I would love to know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.